Hi Amber. I just got finished watching your video. It was very informative. I'm glad that I reviewed it. So I think we have a lot of the similar ideas. You talked about like activities of daily living and specific wants and needs for clients. The caregiver burden, I completely agree. It's not an easy task, and it is a 24/7 job, and none of them really talked about like having to quit their jobs, but I'm assuming that at least one of the parents probably had to quit their job so that they could stay home with their loved ones to take care of them. We had the same thoughts about like the home therapy program and how it's 24/7 and the everyday challenges of taking care of a child with special needs. Freed talked about how it affects their gait and their visual disorders, which she didn't really touch base on a lot of the visual disorders in the video, but a couple of the cases were the individuals wore glasses, so maybe that had something to do with the ataxia, maybe not. By the way, you say Frederick's ataxia and I say Friedrich's, and I don't know, maybe it's just like a variation, but kind of like dysphagia and dysphagia. But anyways, I think it's funny. Freed talked about how it's like seen in their 20s, and all of the cases that we noticed were diagnosed, some of them well beyond or well before 20 years old. So all individuals like started beyond that. Even the siblings started beyond that, and they were all different, which makes me think about like people who are typically developing. Like I have an older brother and a younger brother, and all of us are typically developing. I hope so. And we're all different, so it just goes to show you that like people who have disorders are all different too, and they all need to be treated as a different person. And you can't look at, you know, one kid with this disorder as the same as another person or child or even adult as the same as, you know, the one prior. You can use similar ideas, but you shouldn't use the exact same therapy. An example would be, I had an aphasia client my first semester who I think everybody knows Mr. Clay, or most people know Mr. Clay, and I worked on the Take Me Out to the Ball Game song with him. He did a really good job at it. I just started working on that with a client who has apraxia. Totally different disorder. She has a little bit of aphasia, but it's different. And she is doing really well with it. So two totally different disorders, but I'm approaching it in a different way. So I think that that's helpful, is to like take similar ideas, but use it in a different way to guide your therapy. I liked how you commented on about how like making the most of a bad situation, like how the son that passed away who was like in a wheelchair after 10 years, and he had surgery, I think, and from what I recall, he had surgery and he had too much like fluids in him and he ended up passing away. He was one of the twins. They donated his organs, and I thought that was pretty noble of them because she didn't have to do that. It's got to be a very hard situation for them, and so the fact that she, you know, really thought about it and wanted to help other people was a good thing. Obviously, it's a very good thing, and she wanted to find a cure for this, and, you know, for other people. Another good point you made was about like the counseling role and about the various emotions that people are going through when they live knowing that they have a progressive disorder. Another point I would like to make, like to expand on that, would be not only for the person with the disorder, but also the family, because I'm sure they're going to be coming to us with like lots of questions and lots of, you know, just ideas, and they want to know what they can do at home and how it's going to impact them, and if they should have more kids, or, you know, certain things. And so I think it would be very smart to just kind of educate ourselves more on what this disorder is about, so that we can generate a response or come up with an idea for who they could talk to next if we don't exactly know the idea, because it's what, 1 or 2 in every 100,000, and so it's a very rare disorder. So I don't even know, we may not even ever see it in our lifetime depending on where we work, but it is possible. So the counseling is a big thing, because that's one thing that we're going to do in all areas, and we can all improve on that. I like that you talked about the difference between the children and the adult for this disorder, because I looked at it more like a rehabilitating versus habilitating, and you kind of broke it down even more than that, as in like what specific approaches that you could do. You said like for children it could be more structured, and it could be play based, which is kind of going back to like using the same ideas but like using them in a different way for clients. And the adults could be like more drill based, and they can adapt and change as they grow, which, you know, could be for both child and adult. So I like that you touch base about like the different levels for both, and that kind of goes back along with like what I was saying about how you can like take similar ideas and, you know, change them per client. But overall, I really enjoyed I'm used to reading everything. Listening and watching your video, and I feel like we all have learned a lot about this Friedreich's ataxia, and I can't wait to learn some more about it so I can improve it as an SLP. All right, have a good night.